We're just picking up from our last time. This time we'll be covering basically what's above the mouse here, um, the system map, the different buttons up here. We did go over scroll map and zoom map, although those are pretty self-explanatory. Let's go ahead and focus on time. Time is I'm going to set this up in a way that I understand. Um, Time to me is definitely an interesting feature of this game. You can break your time up into um, different sections. It's a um, turn-based game, but with varying turn lengths. For example, if you only want to go 5 seconds, just click the 5 seconds. If you want to go an hour, you can go 1 hour. A day, just click a day. Obviously, 5 days. And 5 days, as you can see, took a little bit more time to process. And then 30 days is going to take just a hint longer. Um, and you can see over here, last time increment, how much did you just go? Sometimes, you'll click the 30, but only a day's passed, or 5 seconds has passed. When you click 30 days, you don't always have full control over how much time has passed. The reason for this being is that this game is incredibly uh, complex. The game it doesn't necessarily cheat. The game is fair for all players, and not just for you, but also for uh, the NPRs, non-player races. Um, for example, the computer might be flying along and gets into a battle with another race. So the game will slow it down on behalf of the computer. You won't be seeing anything, but the computer will be fighting with another computer. It's just fairness. You'll have to slog through it. You'll be pressing 5 days and only be going 15 seconds at a time, and you won't be seeing anything. But that's just because the game is trying to be fair to all parties, which I think makes this such a unique and fantastic game. So that being said, let's go ahead and look at sub-pulse length. You can keep it automatic sub-pulses. Basically, this means um, you move within each increment. So, for example, if I press 1 day and I click 5 days, it's going to move ships at a length of 1 day 5 times. Likewise, if I pressed 1 hour and pressed 1 day, it's going to move ships in 24 little sections. Um, but that takes up more processing power. And I'm clicking on 1 day like it's no one's business. And it just instantly does that. Later on, when you get 25, 40 years, 70 years into the game, you're going to see massive slowdowns. It's been said that the only reason anyone's ever stopped playing um, a game in Aurora is because of slowdown, and that's why games just end. Because it takes so long a time to get from one from one turn to the next. But yeah, I mean, right now it's nearly instant. We'll look at ways to combat that in later tutorials. But for now, that's how subpulse works. If you clicked 5 seconds, did 1 day, it's going to take a long, long time to do that. There's usually a warning box, but I have that turned. I've got a special program that goes through it. So I'm going to pause this while that goes through all that. All right, and we're back. The reason that did not give me a warning is because I have a program that I put in myself that whenever these dialog boxes come up, it just goes for the default yes. Are you sure you want to proceed? No, I don't want to do that again. Anyway, uh, so that's how the time works here. The different buttons up here. We have these first five go to basically the same screen, the economic screen, and it just jumps to the different tabs. We'll go into this in depth on a later one. So we'll just skip over this first five, but any of them takes to the same screen, but to a different tab within. Um, Officers or leaders, you can look over your different leaders. We'll get into that a little bit later. Uh, Class design. This is where you design your ships here. Ships will take you to the different ships that you have in service at the moment. Fleet orders. This is how you give your orders. Uh, the task force organization. When you assign leaders to your task force, you can take an overview of the different task forces that you have, and this is how you can manage them. Fighters, we'll get into that way later, as we will combat overview. This is the system tab. A lot of computers have problems when you first open up the system tab. Um, I used to have the errors. I don't remember what fixed it, but it's online at Pintarc dot Aurora.Pintarc. I don't know. Search on Google um, Aurora Pintarc, and you'll find it. It's the one that says something about robots.txt. Should be one of the top three. But anyway, this is just gives you a system overview of all the planetary bodies inside there. Very, very useful here. The galactic map. We'll get into this later, but this is how you keep track of the different systems that you will find. The race details. This tells you about you. If you wanted to change certain things, for example, if I wanted to throw in the United States here and make that 50% of the time, and save that. Uh, but this tells you about who you are as a people. Create a research project, for example. If you wanted to make engines, for example, this is how you would do that. We'll do this later. Potential colonies. It helps you find potential colonies on different places. You can click on that, take a look at it. We'll explain all this later. Again, I'm sounding like a broken record, but that's the way it is. Fuel situation. This allows you to see um, what's going on within your entire fleet. Who needs fuel? What's their range? It has some use, as will this damaged ship screen. The production overview is pretty key, in my opinion. It gives you an idea of what's going on um, and how much time you have. We'll use this extensively later on. View technology. I don't really use this, so I'm not sure what it's all about. I've never found a use for it. It might just be an overview of what you have going on. Um, I mean, you should know what you have. Okay, this is just your racial stuff that you've already researched. Geological survey report, just key screen here. When you are going to be short for minerals, for example, Earth only has 50,000 minerals of uranium. This is how you find more. It just matches what you're looking for. Shipping lanes. We have HAL shipping and logistics. This is your civilian fleet. Here you can give them more wealth. So we're at 3,000. You can click that and give them um, more wealth, and you can see how many ships that they have in the fleet. Since we're just beginning, they don't have any. Sectors. When you get the required technology, this is how you control different sectors. Refresh all. You can press that, and that just refreshes the screen. Events. That's the screen here. Very, very useful screen. very key screen to have to get an idea of what's going on. And then your diplomacy. When you find another race, this is how you can contact them. It's way different than um, other any other game. I think, in my opinion, diplomacy here is just way different, for better or worse. When we find the alien race, we'll come back to this for sure. Anyway, that will conclude this tutorial. We'll get into economics in the next one. Thank you.